Good morning, and welcome to Divorce Talk, the voice of the CDFA. I'm your host, Carol Lee Roberts, the president of the Institute for Divorce Financial Analysts. And on the second Tuesday of each month at 1 p.m. Eastern, I invite you to join me as I talk to CDFA professionals who provide you with information and insight on divorce. For the first podcast of 2024, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to give you an overview of the current divorce landscape, the impact of divorce on both women and the economy, and finally, a look at what's ahead for 2024 with IDFA. Let's begin with a brief overview of the landscape of divorce. In the last few years, we've seen an increase in what's referred to as gray divorce, or divorce for those people over age 50. As a matter of fact, research has indicated that divorce rates for people over age 50 has doubled since 1990, and divorce for those people over 60 has tripled since 1990. So why are we seeing this increase in divorce among those people over age 50? Sociologists have come up with several reasons that might be contributing to this trend. The first is the fact that although the divorce rate for first-time marriages is about 34% in the U.S., it increases for those people who have had multiple marriages. As a matter of fact, the divorce rate for those people in a second marriage is in excess of 60%, and the divorce rate for those people in a third or more marriage exceeds 73%. So that's part of the contributing factor to divorce for people over age 50. A second contributing factor is the idea of the empty nester that no longer is compatible, or what has been referred to in Japan as the retired husband syndrome. The children have left the home, the two individuals realize that they don't have as much in common as they once did, and they divorce. Finally, one of the large contributing factors is just the change in the view of divorce from a societal perspective. In the 1950s, divorce was very infrequent and was frowned on. It was looked upon as a personal failing. Now, divorce is viewed as two people ending a marriage because it no longer fulfills their need, and there isn't the negative connotation there once was. I want to talk a little bit about why divorce is often viewed as a woman's issue. When I first came to IDFA and was frequently asked about divorce as a woman's issue, I used to chuckle and say, no, most divorces actually are between a man and a woman. It is equally a man's issue. However, in doing a little more research, I found out that isn't really accurate. Divorce continues to be a woman's issue because of other factors within our society. Merrill Lynch has recently completed some research that indicates the average woman earns 1.05 million less in her lifetime. That's right, over $1 million less in their lifetime than the average man. A big part of that earning gap is because women are out of the workforce on occasion to take care of children or elderly parents. In addition, there's the earning gap where women make less for the same job as a man. Prudential looked at the same research and has concluded that the average woman's savings is 1/3 less than the average man as they approach retirement. Furthermore, Social Security gives us the information that in the U.S., the man's average retirement benefit is $1,500 per month. The woman's average benefit is $1,000 per month. So women start the entire divorce process a step behind as far as their earning capabilities. Then you add the fact that in most cases, the woman doesn't have as strong a relationship with their financial advisor. As a matter of fact, a recent CNN study indicates that 80% of women will leave their financial advisor after the loss of a spouse from death or divorce. So we see a lot of women approaching what is likely to be the largest financial transaction in their life without adequate assistance. And that's why in 1993, the IDFA was founded to address some of the inequities in divorce. At that time, most women didn't work outside the house at the same level a man worked outside the household. And what was happening is frequently in divorce, the husband would keep the retirement assets and the woman would keep the home. The home being an asset that requires maintenance and you have to pay property taxes and that type of thing, while the retirement assets, for the most part, were growing tax-free. It often led to a woman being in poverty several years after the divorce. Now, things have changed a lot since 1993. Women are earning more money. Women are working outside the household. There are many, many cases where the woman is the primary earner. However, that hasn't changed the overall impact of divorce. Statistics indicate that a man's income is reduced by about 5% in a divorce. However, the woman's income is reduced by almost 30%. Standard of living for a woman after divorce decreases by over 41%, while the man's standard of living decreases by less than 10%. That's why IDFA is working to make sure that women and men both have access to financial professionals that can help them navigate the financial impact of divorce and come up with a more equitable solution. Who are our CDFA professionals? Well, 67% of CDFA professionals are female, 64% are over age 50. We have CDFA professionals working in all lines of financial services. We have those that are working in the traditional broker-dealer world. The largest single employer of CDFA professionals is Ameriprise. We also have CDFA professionals at JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch. We also have a lot of CDFA professionals that work in RIA situations or independent situations. We also have some that work as paralegals and some that are working within the legal profession. A recent survey of our CDFA professionals found that the most common responses to what was the reason for your divorce continues to be basic incompatibility, although we're also seeing an increase in substance abuse and addiction as a reason for divorce. Looking ahead to 2024, we're making some changes here at IDFA. We want to thank our departing board members, David Smith and Karen Sparks, for their 3 years of service. And we want to welcome a new chair to our board of advisors, Nancy Hetrick. Nancy was kind enough to join me on a previous broadcast. We also have 2 new members of the board of advisors, Sam Hubbard and Jason Llewellyn, and I'm hoping Sam and Jason will join me in the near future and also be a guest on the podcast. At IDFA, we're continuing to increase awareness of the CDFA professional, both within financial services and to the general public, and we'll continue this podcast each month to meet our CDFA professionals. We also wanted to invite you all to visit our website, www.institutedfa.com, where you'll find lots of resources, both for your clients and for those individuals going through divorce. We have blogs there. We have a series of webinars, and we'll also be releasing the agenda for our conference, which will take place in Nashville, May 6th through the 8th of 2024. Thank you for joining me for this edition of The Voice of the CDFA, and I hope you'll meet with us again next month.